Okay, so we begin today our discussion on creating a dynamic amortization table. Last time, what we did was to create a table where we have the principal, we have the interest payments, and the principal payments, and then the month and balance. But it was a static model. No? Static lang siya kasi you can see that pag binago natin, for example, yung loan principal, hindi naman magbabago yung model natin. Okay, so what we want to do now is this type of an amortization table. Okay, so let me show this. So on loan principal natin, 5 million, same as what we did before. 10% yung equity. So ang loanable amount is 4.5 million. So I think what we used was 30 years ba? Okay, assuming it's 30 years, then what happens is nagbabago yung annual rate, nagbabago yung total periods, monthly rate, monthly amortization, total payment. It changes. So if it's 30 years, guys, 360 periods yan kasi 30 times 12. So if you notice, our amortization table is up to 360. 360 periods. By the 360 period, guys, zero na yung ano natin. So zero na yung principal natin. So tapos na. Now we can change this. What if we want na ang terms natin is 10 years? So if it's 10 years, guys, dapat 120 months lang, 120 periods. And let's take a look at our model. It's 120. So nagbabago yung model natin automatically. Okay, kung ano man yung periods nakalagay doon, automatically naglalagay siya ng periods. Tapos nawawala yung iba. Okay, so that's a dynamic amortization table. Okay, if it's 1 year, okay, so 12 lang yan, no? 12 periods, then automatically our model will reflect 12 months lang. Yan. And aside from that, guys, meron tayong extra payment dito. Ibig sabihin ng extra payment, aside from the monthly amortization, our PMT, if we're going to add, let's say, so now, guys, at 30 years, 360 months yung ano, no, yung total periods, no. Ang interest, ang total payment natin is 14 million. So imagine, ang loan natin is 4.5 million, pero ang babayaran natin all in all 14 million. So that means the difference is the interest payment, no? Ang laki ng interest. So one way to really decrease the interest is do pay extra. No? Pag magbabayad ka ng extra, wag ibabayad dun sa sa mga bayad centers. Ibabayad natin dapat dun sa Pag-ibig office mismo. And then sabihin sa kanila na I'm going to pay extra for the principal. So aside from the 39,000, kunyari magbabayad tayo ng 2,000 every month. You know what happens, guys? Ito yung effect ng magbabayad ka ng 2,000 addition to pay off your principal. Instead of 360 months, 282 na lang. Ang laki ng nabawas. So instead of a total payment of 14 million, 11 million na lang yung pinakababayaran natin. So ang laki ng tulong, guys, pag nag-extra payment tayo for the principal. So in fact, 282 na lang to, 283. If we take a look at the duration of the schedule, so 283 na lang siya. So nagbago, guys, yung ano natin, no? Nagbago yung model natin. Okay? So there was a savings of 2.45 million kasi nag-extra payment tayo. In fact, if we increase this, ginawa natin 3 million, lumalaki yung savings natin. Lumiliit yung number of years to pay. Ito 21.57 years na lang instead of 30. No? Let's dramatize this more. Kung 5,000, guys, imagine yung 360 months na wala tayong extra payment na gagawin. Nagiging 223 na lang yan kung may extra payment tayo. Ang total payment is not 14, it's already 9.86. Okay. Then guys, a moment na. Okay, sorry about that. All right. So this is the dynamic amortization table that we want, no? Instead of the static one. So dito, naglagay din tayo ng spinner dito. Para if you want to change the loan principal, can you see guys, it changes. No? So if the loan principal was 7 million, so, and then the down payment, pwedeng, kunyari, if it was 15%, nagbabago yung ano natin, no? Nagbabago yung model natin. So this is what we call a dynamic amortization table. Okay, so balik natin sa ano sa 5 million. Okay, so let's start doing this now. Our goal is to be able to complete this, to have an amortization table like this, a dynamic one, and we'll start from scratch. No? Although andito na yung template nakalagay na dito. Okay, may hindi ako natanggal dito, which I'm going to discuss in a while. No? Okay, so loan principal natin. Let's start first with the static one, 5 million. Tapos we start with the provision of pag-ibig na 10%. So this is equal to 5 million times 1 minus our equity of 10%. Oops. 1 minus, sorry, I failed to type the multiply. Okay, so we'll go through this quickly kasi nagawa na natin ito dati. Okay, yung term natin guys, you notice that there's a drop-down list here. Okay, and you notice that the only input that we can have for this cell are these items here. 1 year, 2 year, 5 year. So if I click this, 15-year fixing. Okay, so paki-chat nga guys kung alam nyo na gawin to kasi if you know how to do this already, I'll proceed with the lesson. If not guys, I'll discuss kung if I need to explain to you how to do this. Kindly chat. Yes, if you know how to do this. No, if not. Okay, please. Paki-chat please quickly. Okay, thank you. How about the rest guys? Yan, salamat. Okay, very good. Thanks so much for the feedback. I appreciate that. Okay, so i-discuss ko. No? Now, ang tawag dito guys, data validation. Data validation. If you want a particular cell to be restricted in as far as the inputs to it is concerned, you can do that by data validation. So itong mga ano na to, itong mga naka-input dito is linked to this one. Kasi ito yung sa pag-ibig eh. 1 year hanggang 30-year fixing. So how do we do that? How do we do that? So, ang gagawin natin dito is, okay, we go to the cell, go to this cell where we want it to be data validated, and go to data, and then under data tools, you have data validation. So dito, data validation, you have data validation here. Data validation, and notice sa settings, no? Ang pipiliin natin is list. List. So naka-define yung list natin. Tapos sa source natin, dapat ilalagay natin to. Highlight natin to. Okay? So when we do that, guys, ang mangyayari, magkakaroon ng data validation yung cell natin. Ang i-allow lang yung list na andi dito. Yung 1 year hanggang 30-year fixing. Okay? Alright. So you notice now that for this cell, may drop-down list na dito. No? Tapos ang pwede lang yung mga naka-list dito sa reference natin. 10-year. So that if I type, for example, Excel. If I type Excel, enter ko, anong sabi? This value doesn't match the data validation restrictions. Okay, so hindi pa pwedeng maglagay ng ibang cells. Only those that are listed here. Okay, questions, guys? Okay, I'll give you a few seconds to to try to explore that. And if you're done, guys, if you're done exploring, kindly chat na yes na. Ibig sabihin, okay na sa inyo yung paggawa ng data validation. Of course, yung data validation, guys, pwedeng ano yan pwedeng iba-iba. No? Data validation, pwedeng it's a whole number, a decimal, pwedeng date lang. So pwedeng ilagay lang dun sa cell na yan, date or time, or may specific na text length. No? Hindi pa pwedeng kunyari lumampas ng 5 characters, etc. So pwede rin customize natin. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Liam. How about the rest, guys? Okay na ba itong data validation na to? All right, good. Okay, salamat guys, salamat ha. So that's one additional skill sa Excel. Okay, if you want a particular cell to be restricted in as far as the inputs is concerned. Tapos kunyari yung inputs na yun, it's from a particular list. Okay, okay lang yun. Ang disadvantage lang yan guys, it will not be good if that list is very, very long. Kasi pag dinap down natin, it can be very, very long, nakakalito na. So pag ganun guys, iba na dapat yung gagawin natin. Okay, now ang isang disadvantage din ito guys, paano kung nadagdagan to? Kunyari 40-year fixing, 50-year fixing. Automatic ba na magbabago to? Hindi. So you will have to redo the data validation to include the other cells. Now to avoid that, pwede ang gawin nyo guys is to make sure that this is converted into a table. Okay? Naka-table siya so that pag nadagdagan siya guys, automatic nakasama dun sa sa choices yung nadagdag na na items. Okay? So do you want me to illustrate that guys? Gusto yung illustrate ko na kunyari, kasi ito, kunyari maglalagay ako dito at dadagdagan ko to. Example lang, no? Dinagdagan ko to. So anyway, example lang to, no? Kunyari naging 31, 32, tapos kunyari ng 10%. Tapos ito, 11, kunyari lang to, no? 11%. Okay, so nadagdagan ng 31, 32 dito. Now, what happens here? Hindi naman nadagdagan yung data validation natin dito, di ba? Hindi nasama si 31 at saka si 32. Okay? So how do we make it in such a way that kung nadagdagan yung table natin, dapat automatic sana dito sa data validation, sana kasama din siya. Paano yun? Okay, so sige, may request. Si John lang ba may gusto na na i-discuss ko pa rin yun? How about the rest? May I have your comments, please? Okay. All right, sige. Okay. So if you want, guys, a list that is dynamic din, para pag nagbago yung list natin, nadagdagan, tapos yung data validation natin will also adjust. Then the best way to do it is to convert this into a dynamic table. Now, how do you create a table out of that? How do you create a table out of that? Highlight yung table na yan, no? Okay? And then, di ba may header, no, term at saka rate. So if you highlight this, how do you make this into a table? Kasi ngayon range of cells lang siya. Although hindi naman to subject on Excel productivity, pero sige, isama na natin to. Kasi pag table siya, guys, if you give a name to this table, then pag nadagdagan yung table na yan, yung nadagdagan yung elements, automatically, guys, it's part of the table. No? So highlight this, and then dito sa dulo, di ba, insert, dito sa insert tab, insert, tapos table dito. Or the shortcut is Control T. Kita nyo yung Control T. Okay, so let's redo that. Highlight. and then Control T. Control T. Yan. Where is the data for your table? Ito, M5 to N15. Yan. Tapos tinatanong tayo, my table has headers? Yes. Dapat may header siya. Ang headers niya, term at saka rate. Okay? Alright. Now take note guys na itong table na to, okay, design, may pangalan siya. No? If you highlight the table, ang pangalan niya, table 1, pwede natin palitan. No? Kasi ang pangatan naman table 1, masyadong generic. So I'll make it TBL. Ang ginagawa ko usually, TBL for table and then rates. No? And pinapalitan ko yung pangalan para it's more intuitive. Table, rates, enter. So that's now the name of our table. No? Ayan, kita nyo, table rates. So may pangalan na yung table natin. Okay, now we go here. Punta tayo sa data validation. Okay. Data validation. Okay. List. And then ang source natin guys is, ano yung list natin? Saan yung source natin? Okay. If we highlight this, ito pala. So kasama na to, no? Si 31 and 32. Okay. Now if we delete this, i-delete natin siya. Oh, 'di ba? Natanggal guys, 'di ba? Automatic natanggal na siya. Kasi we are ang ano natin, ang reference natin table. So pag dinagdagan ulit natin 'yan, okay? 31, 32, 33 itong terms natin. Okay? If you drop this down, ayan, no. 'Di ba? Nag-automatic siya, sinasama na niya, guys. Okay, pause muna ako, ha. Okay. Liam, dapat yung pangalan, dapat walang space, ha? Like ko. Yan, table rates, ito yung pangalan natin. Okay, questions, guys? Okay, these are just additional features na which would be helpful. Questions? So, di ba, automatic siya, no? Yung, ano natin, yung 10-year. Kasama na yung 33, 32, 31. No? Yan, kasama na siya. Okay, but if we remove that, if we remove this, tanggalin natin to, no? Okay, notice, guys, na yung drop down natin, okay, nawala din si 31, 32, 33. Yan. Okay? So nag-a-adjust yung ano natin, yung data validation natin. Okay. So dapat ilalagay natin dito, guys, yung annual rate natin, no? Ang annual rate natin will be kung ilan to, kunyari 30-year to, dapat lalabas dito 9.875, no? Okay? So kung 10-year to, dapat ang lalabas dito 7.25. So how do we do that? How do we make sure that kung ano yung lumalabas dito na 10-year, dapat lalabas dito yung ano, yung annual rate niya? Any suggestions? Any suggestion, guys? Ano yun, ano to, Liam? The data validation for other side of the table. What do you mean by that? You mean to say dapat may data validation din tayo dito. Okay, pwede yon, kaso hindi siya automatic. No? Ang gusto kasi natin na pag linagay natin dito na 30 years, okay, dapat, automatic dapat maglalagay dito na 9.875. Na hindi na tayo maglalagay dito ng ano ng hindi na tayo mismo yung magki-click kung ilan yan, no? Okay. So how do we do that, guys? Any other suggestion? We don't want a data validation here, but rather we want automatically kung 30-year to, dapat ang lalabas 9.875. So dapat kung 20-year to, dapat ang lalabas dito is 8.5%. Any suggestion? Any suggestion, guys? So what will happen is that we will ask Excel to look at these values. Kunyari kung 10 years siya, dapat ibibigay sa atin 7.25. May suggestion ba? Okay. So we're going to use a particular function, a particular formula, function in Excel. May masasuggest kayo na function dito? Okay. Okay. Benj, thank you. Anong ginagawa ng VLOOKUP? What does a VLOOKUP function do? Okay, looks for the corresponding value. Okay, so dalawang klase yan, guys, ano? It depends on how your data is arranged. So let me just put this in another way. So we have here the same data, but the arrangement is okay. Naka-column, naka-horizontal siya, no? Ito naka-vertical. Okay, so bench is correct. Pag ganyan, guys, meron tayong data in columnar form, tapos yung value niya, yung representative value, yung corresponding value niya will be naka-column din, kaya andi dito sa column na to. Then we use the function VLOOKUP. That's correct, no? If the data is arranged horizontally, then we use HLOOKUP, horizontal lookup. Okay, so annual rate dapat, okay, nagkaroon ng data validation dito, tatanggalin natin dapat dito, no? So let's remove this kasi naka-restricted yung value natin dito. Eh. It's restricted. So we don't want this. So we go to data. Okay, then data validation. And then ito, any value to. No? We're removing the restriction here. Any value? Okay. So nawala na yung ano natin dito. I can delete this. Nawala na yung ano, guys. Nawala na yung data validation natin dito. We don't want that. Ang gusto natin is a formula. So this will be equal to VLOOKUP. We're going to use the VLOOKUP. So sabi nito, ang VLOOKUP daw looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table. So dapat yung reference natin nasa leftmost, no? And then returns a value in the same row from a column you specified. So ibig sabihin nun, kunyari gusto natin 10-year fixing, dapat in the same row niya, in the column that we're going to specify. Okay, so let's do this. VLOOKUP, open parenthesis. Ang lookup value natin, yung 20-year fixing, comma, table array natin is this one. Okay, or pag isama natin to, okay lang naman to, no? Comma. And then column index natin, asan yung answer natin dito? It's in column number. This is the reference 1. This is the answer that we want, 2. So ilalagay natin sa 2. Okay, and then comma. So is it an approximate match or an exact match? So titinan dito ni Excel 30, 25, 20, tapos ibibigay niya sa atin yung value dito. No? So it's an exact match. Hahanapin niya kasi exact value nito. Okay, so it's a exact match, false. Okay, so pwede ring ignore it kasi pwede ring 0 ilalagay natin dito. Pwedeng ignore, or pwedeng 0, or pwedeng false. Kasi exact match yung false. No? Control Enter. So there, 8.5%, no? Ang 20-year. Yan. If I change this, 30 years, so 9.875. 10 years, 7.25. Okay? So 1 year, okay. Automatic 5.75. Okay? All right. Any questions so far? Clear ba? Paki-chat na please kung clear so far. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right. Then, ang periods per year natin, since monthly to, di ba? 12 to. 12. Okay, so okay na tayo sa term, okay tayo sa annual rate, okay tayo sa periods per year. So let's choose, ibalik natin sa 30 years. Okay, so ilan guys yung total periods natin? How many total periods do we have? What's the number of total periods? 360, correct. No? Correct. So where did we get 360? It's equal to the number of fixing, diba? Times 12. 30 times 12. Now, if we multiply that, what do we get? Yeah. Did you get error also? Aside from Eliza, thank you, Eliza. May mga nakakuha ba dito ng 360? How about the rest, guys? What value are you getting here? D9 times D11. May I have some responses, guys? Okay, how about the rest, please? I want to see, guys, kung ano nakukuha nyo. May I get responses from, if not all of you, a big chunk of you guys, just to see ano yung value na nakuha nyo. Kung minultiply natin si D9 at saka D11. Waiting for more responses. Liam, 360. Liam, makuha mo 360? Yeah, value. Okay, thank you. Kala ko naka 360 ka eh, no? Okay, value. How about the rest? Okay. Bakit siya nagva-value, guys? Bakit nagva-value? What could be the reason for that? Bakit siya naging invalid na ano? Invalid na entry. Okay, correct. Thank you, Elijah. No? Yes, correct. Si Liam ba yan? Very sensitive tong ano. Okay, so your answer is correct, no? Hindi nag-error siya kasi hindi naman number tong term natin, no? Yung term natin na 30-year fixing. But let me point out, guys, itong ginawa kong model na to. Okay, tingnan nyo, guys. D9 times D11. So I have here 30-year fixing times 12. Okay. Why am I getting 360? So what's the difference? Okay, you also have here 30-year fixing at saka times 12. Any suggestion, guys, kung bakit kaya dito sa isa naka 360 ako? 30-year fixing din naman yun. Okay, 360, oh. If I change this, guys, kunyari, 20 years, magbabago siya, 240. Bakit kaya, guys? Bakit kaya? Okay, the answer lies, guys, in the fact that if I go here, what's this? What's the value of my D9 here? Ano yung value ng D9 ko dito, guys? Okay, chat nga, please. What's the value of D9 dito sa model na ginawa ko? It's 30. Saan nyo nakita yun? Saan nyo nakita na 30 to? Nasa formula bar. Tingnan nyo, guys. 30. Pero 30-year fixing siya. Sa ginawa natin kanina, okay, this is 30-year fixing. Ito, 30-year fixing nakasulat pero 30 siya. Okay, weird, di ba? Bakit naging ganun? Okay? Bakit kaya naging ganun, guys? 30-year fixing to pero 30 naman nakalagay sa kanya. Okay, the answer lies in formatting. Okay, so ito, guys, di ba, naka-data validation to, di ba? Naka-data validation siya, naka-link siya dito. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's remove this, guys. Kasi tingnan nyo to, ano mga values nito? Look, the values are numbers. Unlike yung sa atin kanina dito, the values are text. Text siya, di ba? So that's a difference. Kaya nakapag-multiply ako dun sa model dito. Nakapag-multiply ako dito kasi yung 30-year fixing natin, it's a value, it's a number. That's why I'm able to multiply. So let's work on that. So ito, guys, ito, tingnan nyo, it's text. It's text. So what we're going to do is i-delete muna natin to. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Delete natin. Okay. So what I'm going to do is highlight this. Highlight natin to, then control 1. Control 1 is format. Sa Mac yata, command 1 ba sa Mac? I'm not sure about the keyboard shortcut format ng format cells. Okay, but we have to go here, format cells. Tapos, guys, ang default niya kasi general, no? Which means it has no specific number format. What we're going to do is to format our entries here. So punta tayo sa custom. Go to custom, guys. And then dito sa general, okay, sa type natin, we want it to be a number. So paano ba ang format ng number, guys? Ito, number, hashtag. Hashtag, that's the format for numbers, universal. So let's put it number, comma, number. So ibig sabihin yan, yung format na yan na kung thousands yung number natin, maglalagay siya ng comma. No? Okay, so and then, paano ko ilalagay yung year fixing? So what I'm going to do is introduce a quotation, quotes, and then yung number, and then dash, year fixing, then quotes. The year fixing, okay? So ang ginawa ko dito guys, naglagay ako ng quotes dun sa number sign. Ibig sabihin nun, i-attach niya yung quote na to, yung text na to dun sa number sign. Pero it's a number, no? Hindi siya text. So i-okay natin to. Okay. And then if I put here for example 1, okay, tingnan nyo, in-attach yung year fixing. But it's a number, no? 1. Okay, so 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Okay? So we formatted this so that, okay, in-attach na yung year fixing, pero it's read as a number. Okay, so let me just display this once again. Okay, ito yung format natin. Okay, once you have done that, guys, kindly chat kung yes, kung nagawa nyo na. Kung na-format nyo na yung data natin. Okay, kindly respond please, guys. Dalawa pala nagre-respond. If you were able to follow. Okay, let's give your classmates a few more seconds to answer. Okay, the rest, guys, a few more seconds. Para may inputs tayo from you kung if you're able to follow. Okay, sige. Let's continue, guys. Thank you. Mukhang wala namang questions dito sa, okay? All right, good. So, okay na. So ngayon guys, ito, mga numbers na to, no? So if we go here, okay, drop down ulit tayo. 1 year filling, okay? So 1 year siya, look, number na siya. 30-year fixing, it's already a number. So we can now multiply it. Kaya okay na tayo. Okay na yung total periods natin. Okay, so that takes care of the fixing natin na it looks like a text pero number siya. Okay, so that's one way to do that. So sometimes baka may mga text na mas gusto nyo nakalagay kung ano yung description nun or yung text nun, and yet you want to treat it just as a number, and that's how you do it. Okay, so a monthly rate natin will be equal to the annual rate divided by 12. So it's 0.8229, and then the monthly amortization. Okay, we know this, guys. Ginawa natin to last time. Gagamitin natin si PMT. Negative PMT. Maglagay tayo ng negative, guys, kasi naka-positive yung ano natin. Naka-positive yung present value natin. Otherwise, mag-negative yung answer natin dito. We just want the absolute value. The rate is the monthly rate, comma. The NPER is the monthly number of months, okay, comma. The present value is 4.5 million, okay, comma. No future value, comma. Annuity ordinary, so end of the period. And we know that we can just dispense with this. Pwedeng hanggang D8 lang yung ilalagay natin dito, but let's just include it. Okay. Control Enter, you get 39,075.69. Okay, so I'll pause for a few seconds. Okay, pakisabi guys kung if you got 39,075. Of course, if you change the number of years, gawin natin 20, magbabago dapat to. 39,052 kung 20 years, then 240 months, magbabago din yung monthly rate. So everything now here changes because we are changing the 2 years. Okay, pag 2 years lang guys, yung period natin, it's 199,950 per month. So malaki-laki to. Okay, paki-chat nga guys so far kung nag-work yung model natin. Okay, good. Yan. Thank you. Okay, salamat ha. Salamat. Thank you for your feedback guys. Okay, total payment natin guys is it's just the sum of lahat ng binayaran natin. Lahat ng binayaran natin. So although sabi na natin na hindi natin pwedeng i-add technically yung mga cash flows that belong to different time periods. Here, we're not considering the time value of money. Gusto lang natin malaman kung ilan ba talaga yung total, yung absolute value ng binayad natin. So that's 39,000 times kung ilang periods natin babayaran yan, 360. Kasi panay 39,000, 39 for 360 months. So ang total na babayaran natin guys is 14 million. 14.06 million to loan itong 4.5 million. So grabe interest, no? Grabe. But the lower the number of terms, kunyari 15 years, okay, 7.68 million lang versus 4.5 million. So 3 million yung interest dito. So bakit guys, pag mas mahaba yung term, bakit mas malaki yung interest rate? Mas malaking interest payments? Kasi this is very consistent with the principle of risk and return. The higher the assumed risk of the party concerned, the higher will be the required return. So si Pag-ibig, magpapahiram siya, magpapaloan siya for 30 years, it will assume a greater amount of risk. Okay, the default risk is higher. Okay, kaya it should be compensated for the higher returns, quote unquote, for that, which is in the form of interest. Okay? All right, clear so far, guys? Hanggang dyan sa total payment natin. Paki-chat nga kung yes or no. Clear ba so far? Any questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Very good. Okay. Yung iba? Okay. Thank you so much for your responses, class. Okay. Now, ano lang natin, double check natin, guys, kung nagbabago yung ano natin. Kung nagbabago yung terms natin, dapat nagbabago din yung ano natin, no? Kung 1 year, dapat 12 months nga lang. No? And then the monthly amortization is 386. Okay din to guys, kaso ang question kung meron tayong funds na 386, no? Okay, ang interest ito mas mababa, 141,000 lang. Diba? 141,000 lang. So, habang lumalaki yung yung term, 5 years for example, lumalaki din yung interest. Lumalaki yung monthly amortization. Lumalaki yung monthly interest. Lumiliit yung monthly rate. Kasi yung annual rate natin, okay? Lumalaki yung monthly rate natin kasi lumalaki yung annual rate natin. If it's a longer period, 25 years, so the annual rate becomes higher, okay? And constant naman yung divisor natin na 12, so lalaki yung monthly rate natin. Okay, so let's now go guys to our amortization schedule. Okay, dito. Now what we want is that, sabi nga natin, kung nagbabago yung ano natin, ito binago natin yung 10% tayo para pareho dun sa isa. Pag nagbabago guys yung parameters natin, kunyari itong 30 years, okay, so that's 360 periods. Tanggalin ko muna yung extra payment. Okay, so this should be it should be 360. Okay? So that's our dynamic amortization schedule. Pag nagpalit to, ginawa nating 2 years, no? So dapat 24 months lang yan. So our model will be 24 months. So automatically guys, kahit yung formatting, di ba? Sinusundan niya. Tapos in fact, pag may extra payment tayo, kunyari mag-extra payment tayo ng 2,000 or 3,000, 5,000, no? Tapos dagdagan natin to. Hindi natin 20 years. So instead of paying 240 months, kung meron tayong extra payment lagi, 182 months na lang yung babayaran natin, number of periods. Tapos this should be 182. 183. Okay, so our model is very dynamic. No? Pag nagbago tayo ng mga provisions dito, ng mga inputs dito, magbabago din automatically yung model natin. Okay? 30 years. Balik natin, no? And then, wag muna tayo maglagay ng extra payment. Okay, punta na tayo dito, guys. Okay, so let's populate now our amortization table, but we're going to do it dynamically. So yung first month natin will just be fixed, no? Kasi wala pa namang payment dito sa first time tayo magbabayad, no? So let's put it at month 1. Our beginning balance is kung ano man yung amount to finance. Okay, what will be our payment? Ito yung payment natin, no? 39,075. Extra payment, naglagay tayo ng provision na in case may extra payment. Okay? So since nakalink yan dun sa extra payment, pag fill up pa natin to, okay, kunyari 1, automatically magkaka-1 dito. So that's what I mean by creating a model in such a way that nakalink siya dun sa mga cells. Yun lang yung cells dun sa mga absolute values ng cells. Dito lang tayo magbabago. Then automatically, our model will follow through. Okay, what will be our interest? Our interest will be based on the beginning balance. So the beginning balance, and since this is a monthly amortization, monthly rate yung gagamitin natin there. Okay? So our interest is 37,000. So of the payment na 39,000, 37,000 yung pupunta sa interest doon. So if we divide that, around 95% yung pupunta sa interest lang. Okay, the rest will go to principal. Ganun talaga guys, kung ano yung sa earlier years, malaki talaga na pupunta sa interest. So our principal will be, magkano yung ibabayad sa principal? Okay, kunin natin difference ng payment at saka extra payment. Isa-sum up natin yan. Kasi kung may extra payment, ibabawas yan dun sa principal and then minus the interest. I showed you a while ago na may advantage talaga kung nag-extra payment. Okay, kasi nababawasan yung principal. Pag nabawasan yung principal, mas lumiliit yung interest, no? Okay, so ito lang napunta sa principal out of the 39,000, 2,000 lang ang napunta sa principal. Okay, yan ang first month, no? And then the month-end principal will be the beginning balance minus the principal payment. Okay, so yung concept to guys, nakuha na natin to last meeting. Except for the extra payment, no? Ngayon lang natin in-introduce sa extra payment. Okay, so if we do extra payment guys, kunyari 5,000. Okay, pag naglagay tayo ng 5,000, ano mangyayari? Ito na yung extra payment na 5,000. Look, lalaki yung payment natin sa principal. Kasi itong 5,000 na to, hindi yang isasama dun sa ano sa pag ano ng interest, no? Sa principal yan isasama. Kaya nga when you do this, guys, dapat doon kayo magbabayad, not at bayad centers, no? Kasi pag nagbayad kayo ng kunyari 39 plus 5, that's 44,000. Wala, isasama pa rin sa pag-compute dun yung interest, no? So mas maganda kung doon kayo pupunta sa Pag-ibig office mismo and tell them that this extra payment of 5,000 will be used for the payment of the principal. Kaya nga dito sumama, no? Yung 5,000 yan. So tanggalin muna natin to, delete ko muna. Okay. All right. Then, what will be the next one here, guys? Ano ilalagay natin dito? Okay. Thank you, Liam. Okay. However, guys, hindi natin pwedeng ilagay yung 2 dito. No? Bakit hindi pa pwede? Kasi hindi tayo pwedeng maglagay ng 3, 4, 5. Hindi pa pwede yun. Otherwise, kasi magiging fix yan. No? Ibig sabihin yung kaninang pinakita ko, up to 360, hindi pa pwede yun. Kasi sometimes it will be, kung gagawin natin 5 years yan, then magiging 60 lang dapat yun, etc. No? So dapat formula to, yung nasa months natin formula. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to illustrate that here. Okay, lakihan ko muna tong yung months natin. Okay, so let's go here. Number 1, guys, dalawang conditions natin. Number 1, maglalagay lang tayo ng month dito kung may month pa dito. Okay? Kunyari, example lang, kunyari umabot na tayo ng 12. No? Umabot na tayo ng 12, ibig sabihin 1 year yung ano natin, 1 year lang yung term natin. So in 12 months time, tapos yan, di ba? If we go here, guys, pag andito tayo sa cell na to, dapat wala nang values to, wala nang mga months yan. Kasi wala nang previous month eh. Okay? Dapat yung mga succeeding months kung tapos na, kasi ikakopy natin, guys, yung formula natin hanggang pababa, no? Dadagdagan natin para kung mas maraming months, automatic siya, makaka-capture pa rin yung formula natin. Okay? So, first, i-check natin kung wala nang previous month, andito tayo, no? We're here. If we will compare it with the previous month, kung wala nang laman, dapat wala nang ilalagay dito. Kasi tapos na. Tapos na yung term natin. Okay, so let's do that first. No? So I'm going to write this function is equal to if. So if function. Ano ba yung if function? So checks whether a condition is met. No? And then returns one value if true and another value if false. So what's this telling us is that yung if function, meron dapat tayong logical test, yung syntax natin. And then we're going to provide yung value daw if true siya. And then value if false siya. Okay, so let's do this. Logical test. Okay, number 1, if the previous month is nothing, is equal to nothing. Okay, kung wala nang laman yung previous month, dapat wag na siya maglalagay ng laman pa. Okay, so that's our first test. No? If the previous month is nothing, then give us nothing. Okay? Okay, ano pa yung condition, guys? Ano pa yung condition kung kailan dapat mawawalan ng ano, mawawalan na dapat ng month? What do you think? Saan natin i-evaluation? When will be that situation na wala na dapat next month? Kunyari, kung ano tayo, no, kung 10 years tayo. So pagdating ng 120, when we reach month 120, tapos kinapi down pa natin, dadating ng 121, kailan dapat hindi na mag-121? Okay, if its term is over, okay? If its term is over, or, yeah, correct, no? Ang sabi ni John, pag zero na yung principal, pag wala nang balance, no? Kung zero na to, guys, ibig sabihin, tapos na. Nabayaran na natin lahat ng principal. So wala na dapat kasunod. Okay? That's correct, no? So we have to look at this. Kung zero na to, guys, kung zero na to, if this is nothing, then wala na dapat succeeding month. So how do we put that? I'll put another comma, then another test tayo. If the month-end principal is equal to nothing, kung wala na laman yan, zero na yan, comma, give us nothing. Ba? So tinetest natin, dalawa. Kung yung previous month natin wala na, dapat wala nang kasunod na month. Tapos pangalawa, kung yung month end principal natin wala na, zero na, so dapat wala na rin additional month na ilalagay. Otherwise, guys, comma, value if false. What if this is not zero? Ito ba zero to? Diba? Ito hindi zero to eh. So ano dapat ilalagay niya dito? Paki-chat please, ano yung answer natin? Okay, ayan. Okay, thank you Elijah. Liam, greater than zero. So the answer is, dapat dadagdagan natin ng ano, ng isang month, no? Kasi succeeding month na eh. So we're going to write, dapat B20 plus 1. Dagdagan ng isang month. No? And notice guys, dalawang if natin. So yung pangalawang if, red yung parenthesis niya. So red din to, no? In order to tell us na ito yung kapares niya. Tapos yung isang if naman, dapat isasarado din natin yan. Okay, so black on black, no? Red on red. Okay, so what will be the answer here? Tingnan natin yung code natin, yung syntax natin. May previous month ba? Yes. Diba? May previous month. But that's not the final ano. That's not the final basis. Titingnan pa natin yung isa. So if B20 is nothing, give me nothing. Kaso merong value dito, di ba? May 1 dito eh. So we have another test. Is the month end principal of the previous month equal to 0? Okay. If it's equal to 0, then wala na dapat tayong ilalagay sa month. No? Otherwise, kung not equal to 0 yan, dapat B20 plus 1. So we expect this to be number 2. No? Kasi mayroon pa tayong month end principal. Okay, i-copy down natin to. Let's copy this down. Okay, ano nangyari guys? Notice this is a formula dito sa month 3. Bakit wala siyang value? Bakit walang value na linagay? Kasi, guys, chinek ni Excel to. Meron bang previous month? Meron. So hindi siya kagad maglalagay na natin, ano? Titingnan niya muna to. Is H21 is it equal to 0? Is H21 in this case, guys, equal to 0? So tinetest natin. If it's equal to 0, then give us nothing. Okay, so ito yung nabasa niya. H21 is 0. Therefore, ang ibibigay ko, 0. Kaya nga 0, guys. So if we copy this down, yan, tingnan nyo. Oh, ito, dito. If the previous month is nothing, give me nothing. So dito pa lang, guys, dito pa lang, hindi na siya naglagay ng value. Kasi sa unang test pa lang, if the previous month is nothing, give me nothing. Okay, hindi niya babasahin to. Hindi niya babasahin itong pangalawa kasi nothing na to eh. Okay, so, but what if I put here a value 1? Nalagay ko itong 1, ano nangyari nyo? O, di ba nagkaroon ng 3 dito, di ba? Nagkaroon ng 3 dito kasi nagkaroon tayo ng value dito na ano eh. Sabi dito, if H21 is equal to 0, then give us nothing dito sa month. Otherwise, magdagdag pa siya ng isa. At tinest niya to, hindi naman equal to 0 to may value to eh. Kaya naglagay siya ng B21 plus 1. Ganoon yun guys, dito may value dito. O, di ba nagkakaroon ng 4 dito. No? Dito, 5. Dito, 6, 7. Hanggang saan ko ba kinopya? Okay. Dito hindi ko na nakopya. Pero kung nakopya ko yan dyan, may 8 pa rin yan kasi may 1 pa rin dito. Okay? So let me tanggalin muna natin to. Okay, so let's go now here to beginning balance. Okay. All right, what will now be our beginning balance, guys? For month 2. Ang beginning balance natin will be picked up from the previous month and principal. No? Yan. Okay, what will be our payment now? Our payment will be equal to whatever the beginning balance is multiplied by the monthly rate. And then we have to fix the monthly rate. Fix natin yung row. No need to fix the column kasi we're going to copy down along the column. Okay, then how about the extra payment? Ay, sorry guys, sorry. Mali tayo dito ha. Okay, mali ito. Sorry, my apologies. So sa beginning balance, okay, is equal to, test din natin, no? If the month is nothing, kung walang laman yan, then give us nothing. Otherwise, kung may laman to, guys, kunin natin yung previous. Okay, so that will be our beginning balance. No? Naka-formula din yan. Titingnan din niya kung walang laman tong month na to, wag na siya maglalagay ng beginning balance. Okay? Right, control enter. How about the payment, guys? Is equal to if, again, test natin based on the month. If that is nothing, okay, give us nothing. Otherwise, the payment will be this one. Ito yung payment natin. And then naka-fix siya. Ito yung monthly amortization natin. That will be the payment. Enter. How about the extra payment? Pareho din, if beginning month is nothing, give us nothing. However, kung meron pa tong month na to, kunin niya yung extra payment dito. Okay? And then we have to fix the row kasi we're going to copy the formula down. Well, enter. Okay, how about interest? Again, guys, if this is nothing, give us nothing. Otherwise, interest will be equal to the beginning balance multiplied by, okay, our monthly interest rate. Okay, no? So lagi tayo nakapeg dito. Pag wala ng month dito, guys, wala na dapat mga values dito. And then the principal, guys, is if this is equal to nothing, okay, don't give any value. Otherwise, the principal should be just like the previous one. It should be the sum of the payment and the extra payment, okay, and then minus natin yung interest payment. So that should be the principal. Okay? There. Okay. How about this month and principal? Kailan magkakaroon nito, guys? Kailan tayo magkakaroon ng value dito? Ang formula natin kasi to get the month and principal, di ba, is it's equal to the beginning balance less kung magkano binayad natin sa principal. Just like this, yung previous. No? Yung beginning balance minus yung binayad sa principal. That one. So dito, we will have to modify that. So if, again, if this one has nothing in it, give us nothing in it. Okay? Tapos may isa pa tayong test, no? If this one, if the beginning balance minus the principal, kung greater than 0 yan, ibig sabihin mas malaki, guys, yung beginning balance natin kaysa sa principal payment, no? Kasi kung mas malaki yung beginning balance kaysa sa principal payment, ibig sabihin nun may balance pa tayo, no? Diba? So if the beginning balance is greater than the payment, anong value if true? Ano ilalagay natin sa month and principal? Example, guys. Kunyari, ang beginning balance natin 100. Ang principal payment daw 80. Ano ilalagay natin sa month and principal? Paki-chat nga, please. Beginning balance is 100. Okay? Principal is 80. Ano ilalagay natin sa month and principal? Handy chat, please, guys. Ulitin ko, beginning balance is 100. Principal payment is 80. What should be reflected here in the month and principal? Please. Okay, hindi, yung specific question ko, Elijah, no? 100 yung please answer my specific question. 100 yung beginning balance. 80 yung principal. Ano ilalagay dito sa month and principal? Yeah, it's 20, correct, no? Saan nanggaling yung 20 na yun? Minus natin. Ito yung total na utang natin. Ang binayad sa principal, kunyari 100 to, Ang binayad sa principal 80. So ang balance pa natin is 21, is 20, di ba? Minus natin. So this one guys, kung mas malaki pa si beginning balance kaysa kay principal, kung mas malaki yan, dapat value if true, control C, dapat ang ilalagay natin dito sa month and principal will be the difference. No? Otherwise, guys, don't give me any more value. Kunyari, equal na yan sila. 100 yung beginning balance, 100 din yung principal. Okay, so the difference is not greater than 0. No? It's equal to 0. So, wala na. Give us nothing na. Kung ibig sabihin, fully paid na yung ano natin, yung principal balance natin. Okay? Enter. Okay, pause muna ako guys. Pause muna ako. So, may mga questions ba kayo dito sa formula natin? Ulitin ko ito ha. Si month 1 natin, sabi natin, kung wala nang, if B20 is equal to nothing, then nothing na tayo. Tapos if H20 itong month and principal previous month is nothing, if it's nothing, then wala na, nothing na. Huwag na tayo maglalagay sa month. Otherwise, dagdagan natin ng isa yung previous month. So itong formula na to guys, pag kinopy down na natin to, then that will now automatically add 1 kung kailangan mag-add 1 sa month. Okay, so beginning balance natin, again, ililink natin dito. If B21 is nothing, give us nothing. Otherwise, ang beginning balance natin yung previous month. Payment natin will be, kung wala na to, dapat wala ng payment. No? Otherwise, itong 39,000 naka-fix. Extra payment natin, ganun din. Kung wala ng month, beginning month, wala nang ilalagay sa extra payment. Otherwise, yung extra payment na H6, naka-fix yung row. Interest natin, ganun din guys. B21 is nothing, give us nothing. Otherwise, yung beginning balance natin ng principal multiplied by the monthly rate. Okay? Principal natin guys, if this is nothing, give us nothing. Otherwise, isum natin yung payment at saka extra payment minus the interest payment. And lastly, guys, ito, if B21 is nothing, give us nothing. Tapos check natin, if C21 ba minus the principal, if it's positive, ibig sabihin mas malaki pa rin yung beginning balance natin. Ibig sabihin may natira pa rin, guys. Maglalagay tayo ng month and principal, which is the difference between your beginning balance and your principal. Otherwise, guys, kung hindi greater than 0 yan, so ibig sabihin 0 na siya, then give us nothing already. Okay, so that will be our, yan ang formulas natin, no? So let's copy this down, itong row number 2. I-copy natin guys hanggang row 70 para, kasi pwede natin gawin na ano to eh, instead of 30 years lang, pwede natin gawin 50 years. No? Yung iba kasi may mga ganung loans eh, para mas dynamic. Although ito, naka-data validation tayo. No? Because, kasi kung pwede natin i-expand itong ano natin, pwede natin ma-expand to. Kunyari, to include 50 years, 60 years. So dapat yung formula natin, dapat aabot sa 50 years. No? O 50 years times 12, that's 600. So, copy down natin to guys. Copy down. Okay, gawin natin hanggang 700 na lang. Okay, 700. So that will accommodate kung 50 years. Ma-accommodate din yan. Row 700 na lang. Sige. Okay. Then na-copy na natin. Okay, what happened guys? So 30 years to times 12, dapat 360. Okay. Ilan guys yung ano natin, yung last nyo? Is it 360 or 361? $360 or 361? Paki-chat nga please if you got 360 or 361. Okay, 361 also. Were the others able to follow? Do you have any questions as regards to the formula? I'm getting only a few responses, guys, na 361. So far, tatlo lang, guys, yung nagsasabi that they got 361. How about the rest? May I have some feedback from you guys kung if your formula is working? May mga questions ba? Okay, 361. Okay, so I hope the others were able to follow. Now let's check, guys, yung formula natin. No? Kasi dapat 360 lang yan, di ba? Bakit 360? Kasi yung ano natin, ito yung term natin 30 years times 12. So that should only be 360. So let's see what happened here sa formula natin. Kung bakit naging 361 siya. Siyempre, papayag ba naman tayo na ano? Kasi zero na yung beginning balance natin dito. Tapos magbabayad pa tayo ng 39. Mukhang may mali yung model natin. Let's check the formula. Okay, sabi dito, if B379 is nothing, give us nothing. Okay. Then if H379 is nothing, give us nothing. Otherwise, add another year, add another period. If you take a look at H379, yung previous month and principal, it's already zero. Pero bakit pa rin siya nagdagdag? The problem lies, guys, with if we check this, okay, zero ba talaga yan? Okay. If I add the decimal, guys, it's not actually zero. No? So since yung ano natin, yung code natin, yung if state sentence, sabi natin, if H379 is equal to 0, then give us 0. Otherwise, add 1. Strictly speaking, hindi 0 to, di ba? Kasi may value pa siya, no? Although it's a very, very small value. So what we can do, guys, is adjust natin yung formula natin. Huwag natin gawing is equal to 0. No? So punta tayo sa taas. Let's go to month number 2 where we have the first formula for month 2. So dito. No? So let's adjust this. Instead of saying is equal to 0, okay, dali. Laking ko lang ng konti. Instead of writing is equal to 0, maglagay tayo ng cut-off. No? Gawin natin, if H20 is less than, maliit na number na lang. Kung less than 0.01 yan, yung previous na month and principal, okay na yun, is 0 out na niya. No? Okay, huwag natin gawin is equal to 0 kasi hahanapin ni Excel yung exact na 0. No? So gawin natin less than 0.01 na lang yan. No? So kung maliit na value na lang yan, kung less than 0.01, then nothing na. Huwag na siya maglalagay ng panibagong month. No? So control enter. Again, highlight, guys, yung cells natin. And then, Utang ko ulit. Sa month 2, copy down hanggang 700, row 700. Okay, there. Row 700. And let's check, guys, kung sa 360 na. Okay, there. 360 na siya. 360 na. Hindi na siya nagdagdag ng 361. Okay. May formula dyan, di ba? Tinignan niya to, less than 0.01 na to. Okay. Then, wala na. Don't add anymore. Nothing na. Don't add any number. Okay, pause muna ako, guys. Questions? Clear ba so far? Any questions with the formula? Okay, can you please flash the formula again for month 2? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Bench, for that question. Okay, I'm going to flash for month 2. Okay, let me increase the size para kita nyo. There. So binago lang natin yung if H20 kanina. If H20 is greater than, is equal to natin kasi kanina. So pinalitan natin ng if H20 is less than 1 centavo, okay na yon. Give us nothing. Para hindi na siya magdagdag ng another month kung sakaling it's a very, very small value. Okay, Bench, did that answer your question? Highlight row 2, guys, and then copy down. Okay, let me. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bench. How about the rest, guys? Kamusta? Again, I'll post this question. So far, clear ba tayo? Was your model able to work? Nag-360 ba siya? Kasi dapat 360 yung ano natin, no? Yan, dapat 360 yan. Okay, and then if we change, guys, gawin natin ano to? Gawin natin 20 years. So dapat 240 siya, no? If you take our model, it should be yan, 240 lang. Okay, so we have a dynamic amortization table here. Okay, paki-chat naman please guys kung clear so far, paki-yes lang or no kung may questions kayo. Please, I'll appreciate that guys kasi hindi ko alam kung nakukuha niyo ba or may portion dyan na hindi niyo nakuha. I'll appreciate a response from you guys kung yes, clear so far. Or no kung may mga questions kayo. So I'm only getting 2 responses so far. Yung iba, please. Okay. Okay, good. Ano po ulit yung 0.82 sa F15? F15, let me check. F15. Ano to lang guys, no? Chinek lang natin yung ano, yung okay. Balik ko dito sa ano. Ring ratio lang yan ng ano, ratio lang ng nagbabago, di ba? Kanina sinabi ko sa inyo, yung 30 years natin, tingnan yung formula, no? Ang formula is the interest divided by the monthly amortization. So kinukuha lang natin, magkano ba yung binayad natin sa interest sa first month, no? Ano yung proportion niya, di ba? Look, ayan, no? F20 divided by D14. Magkano ba yung binayad natin sa first month? 39,000. Ilan yung sa interest doon? 37,000. So ibig sabihin, 95% ng binayad natin na 39,000 napunta lang sa interest. Yung 82% na yan, kung 20 years. No? 20 years, yan, di ba? 82%. So we were just getting, magkano yung napunta sa interest dun sa first month natin. Yung sa 20-year term, it's 82%. Okay, thank you for that question. Any other question? Hindi na natin na hindi na natin na discuss tong ano. Okay, so just quickly guys. Okay. Ito guys yung sa ano natin sa model na ginawa ko. Meron tayo ditong ano, spin button tayo. Okay? So do you know how to create this, guys? Kasi if you know how to create this, hindi ko na i-discuss to. If not, guys, then i-discuss ko. Paki-chat nga please. I hope mag-respond naman kayo guys kasi so far nakikita ko lang nagre-respond. 5, 4, 3. So I need more feedback guys kasi kung marami sa inyong nakakaalam na nito guys, I will not discuss this anymore. Okay. So not even 50% are responding, guys. Sana man lang, umabot man lang sana ng 20 responses. Okay, simple lang naman yung question ko, guys, kung alam niyo nang gawin to or not. Okay, thank you. Let's see. No. Okay, no. All right. So it's already time, guys. So just give me 1 minute, no, with your permission. Para next meeting, tuloy-tuloy natin i-discuss to. Ay, sorry, hindi. Ano pala guys, I'm going to post the video of the discussion of this. Paki-watch na lang, no? Kasi that will serve as an asynchronous class for us. Kasi nga, di ba, wala tayong nag-holiday nung Monday and then we're really pressed for time. So, kailangan lang guys, kailangan lang natin, paki-check nga kung may developer tab kayo dito sa Excel nyo. May lumalabas ba ng developer dyan? File, home, insert, page layout. May developer ba? Paki-check nga kung yes or no. Okay, wala. Okay, thank you. Alright, so kailangan muna mapalabas to guys yung developer na to. So install lang natin yan very quickly lang. How do we make sure na andito yung developer? So kunyari nasa home ako. Okay. Anywhere here guys in your tabs, anywhere here, right click lang. Right click tapos customize ribbon. Yan. Okay, anywhere here, can be here, anywhere, no? Customize, right click lang tapos customize ribbon. Okay, then this will appear. Okay, so this is how you will customize your ribbons. Ito yung ribbons natin, yung mga tabs natin. So dito sa pangalawa, andito, no? Customize the ribbon. Tapos main tabs tayo. That's the default. And then makikita nyo dito developer, guys. Developer. Tapos hindi nakaklik yan. Click it. Click the developer. Okay, and then okay. And then dapat lalabas siya yung developer dyan. Okay, sa Mac, dapat lumabas na yung developer. No? So dapat meron na tayong ditong developer. It should also appear in Mac. So dapat ma-generate natin itong developer na to. Okay, so next meeting guys, hindi pala next meeting. Review na lang sa next meeting. But I'm going to discuss this in, although sa kabilang section guys, na-install na namin to no? Uulitin ko na lang no? For our benefit. So developer, pag i-click natin yan guys, yan. Dito tayo sa control, sa insert. Insert, ito yung form control. Yung form control. Okay, so iba't ibang form control. Now, mas maganda sana si ActiveX. Kaso si ActiveX guys, it will require VBA, yan, Visual Basic for Application. Medyo may coding ng konti dito. Since we will not have time to do that, no? Dito na tayo sa form control na walang coding. So, ang pipiliin natin itong spin button. If you click this guys, if you click this, and then, kunyari, maglalagay tayo ng spinner dito, yan. Okay, lalabas yan. And then, sasabihin natin guys kung i-format natin to, depende dun sa needs natin. Okay, dito kasi na-format namin to, see? So, nag-a-adjust guys yung loan principal natin. Okay? So, kindly watch the video guys that I'm going to make with another class tomorrow. Ipopost ko rin siya bukas. Tapos, ang assignment nyo guys, paki-nood na yon, no? Kasi we will not have time anymore to go over that, no? So, that will compensate for the missed classes because of the holiday last Monday. Okay? Do I have your commitment guys to watch that video tomorrow? Of course, not necessarily tomorrow yung panoodin, no? At your spare time. May I have your commitment for that, guys? Kung pwede, paki-chat na lang kung yes. Yan. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate. No? Salamat. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, it's because, guys, talagang medyo kulang na tayo sa oras. Tapos on target natin, guys, yung quiz 2 natin will be on Wednesday next week. Okay? All right, so let me stop recording.